Welcome to the New Zonderlings podcast, where we explore the weird and bizarre. Here are your hosts, Noah and Jeanette.
Hello and welcome to the New Zonderlings podcast. My name is Noah and I'm joined by Jeanette.
Hi, everybody. This time, I would like to speak about the upcoming apocalypse.
Upcoming.
Yeah. Did you know about this?
No.
You ever heard about this?
No. When's it supposed to happen?
Well, I'll tell you, the news story I came across, written by Josie Jempson. The title is, Exact Date Deadly Asteroid Could Hit Earth as Scientists Warn We Are Not Prepared. Okay, I'm like, what? There's an asteroid coming towards Earth? Why isn't this bigger news, right? So I start reading it, and it says, an asteroid with a 72% chance of colliding with Earth on July 12th, 2038 is a scenario that NASA has just tested to see how humanity would handle a massive space rock impact.
Oh, so it's not real.
It's not real.
So you're trying to trick me.
I had some really true, deep anxiety as I was reading that. But it got me thinking, as long as I can remember, there's always been some kind of upcoming apocalypse.
Yeah, especially 2012.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
It's a big example. Y2K.
Y2K.
That might have been before you were born. There's just so many different apocalypse predictions, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can't hardly go on YouTube without every once in a while getting this weird, suggestion to watch a video about Nostradamus, given his prophecies.
What?
And what it means for this year.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never seen those?
No.
Oh, I must have clicked on something once and now I just get them.
Now the algorithm is messing with you.
I guess.
Yeah.
I do have to look up some weird stuff sometimes.
For the show, not for personal gain.
Yeah, it was weird. So, in this story, NASA organized its 5th Planetary Defense Interagency Tabletop Exercise. Say that 10 times fast.
So wait, it's like a tabletop game?
It's an exercise. No, it's not a game. It's an exercise. Inviting more than 100 participants, including the UN, the UK Space Agency, and the European Space Agency.
Wow. They're like, hey guys, we're about to play this game, tabletop version. Let's play together.
Very smart people. Not a crowd I'd want to play a game with. But faced with the challenge of an asteroid between 60 and 200 meters wide, likely to hit somewhere between North America and Saudi Arabia. It's a big area to cover.
Big area, yeah.
In which direction, I wonder? These organizations had to collaborate to save us or identify what might hinder the process and leave us bracing for the big impact.
I mean, what can you do at that point?
I guess it depends
on
how big it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it gives you between 60 and 200 meters. That's a big difference.
It is pretty big.
So I'm thinking if it's over 200 meters, there's nothing anybody can do about anything. So I don't remember how big they said the one that hit in the Yucatan. That's supposed to be responsible, supposedly, for the extinction of a lot of dinosaurs. Not crocodiles or alligators. But most of the other life on the planet. So I'm wanting to say that one was like a bus size or something. I could be wrong about that. It'd have to be bigger than that, right?
The size of a bus?
Yeah.
I have no idea personally.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up sometime. But so I guess they get together and they have these exercises and the games. And to continue it says, yes, it appears that even when faced with potential extinction, scientists and space leaders worry that politicians will fail to unite and work as a team to prevent it happening. So this once again took another turn for me because I thought they were talking about the average Joe. They're not. This exercise.
About our leaders, our top people that we've elected.
Yes, that's exactly who this was testing.
I believe that.
So that's
100%.
In September last year, NASA's OSIRIS Rex mission,
Was it
Osiris-Rex, successfully brought back samples of an asteroid named Bennu to Earth. So that's pretty cool. So currently it has about 1 in 2,700 chance of colliding with Earth on Tuesday, September 24th, 2182. So that one is real.
We've got some time.
It's a 1 in 2,700 chance.
Oh.
I mean...
So not only is there a slight chance...
Ever so slight
chance, but that's also how many years? 150, 160 years?
Well, I understand your point, but they still should be planning to do something about it, even for that time.
Well, I mean, again, what
even
can
if,
you do?
You know, our great grandkids will be dead by the time this happens. But yeah, you still want humanity to go on, right? Sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
The chances of it hitting sometime between now and 2300 are even lower at about 1 in 1750. 2300. So maybe if it comes around again after the initial 2182 chance.
Oh, I see.
I'm guessing is what they're trying to say there.
I guess. Yeah.
While the most costly mission was estimated at just over 1 billion, global GDP is rapidly nearing 1 trillion, so it seems like a worthwhile investment, although the NASA scenario predicted it was more likely between 1,000 and 100,000 people would die rather than mass extinction.
Wow. So
just 100,000 people.
Just 100,000 people. That's nothing, according to scientists. For the greater good.
Oh my God. Well, I can make a big comment about that with something that happened in World War II, but I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay. This is probably a good idea, for now at least.
The lack of disaster management plans for survivors in the event of an asteroid strike is a major concern, suggesting that not only might politicians fail to prevent the asteroid, but we could also be left to fend ourselves post-impact. Okay, how are they supposed to prevent the asteroid?
Well, that was my question. I guess, I don't know, in my head, I just imagine
I know NASA has been working on like solar parachutes.
Yeah.
That kind of change the trajectory of items that they need to.
Right. Well, I was thinking more like Armageddon. You know that movie, Bruce Willis?
Well, somewhere between North America and Saudi Arabia, 1,000 to 100,000 people are going to die. It's just a weird. Okay. We're laughing about this too. It just sounds kind of ridiculous. NASA has already demonstrated its ability to deflect an asteroid if necessary, even though it inadvertently created dozens of smaller asteroids that might eventually collide with Mars. Who gives a crap?
Jeanette,
are you a Mars lover?
We might be living on Mars eventually.
Do you think so?
No, but not in our lifetime. But
it's cold on Mars. I mean, it doesn't have an atmosphere, so you freeze to death on the side facing away from the sun and burn up in the side facing the sun. So
you live and learn. You got to take those risks.
But you wouldn't live. I don't know. And it's a lot smaller than Earth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a lot. It is smaller, but not.
Lots of iron.
Well,
some natural deposits that we can steal and destroy Mars, and
judging by how cold we get as a species as we grow older, I don't know. That's a good idea. Try to colonize Mars. We should be trying to colonize Venus. It'd be hotter. Okay, back to the story. While its Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART, mission has only been tested once, there's hope that it could be repeated if necessary, provided there's sufficient funding from politicians. Furthermore, NASA emphasized that its new Near-Earth Object, NEO, survivor mission, a powerful infrared telescope designed to detect dangerous space rocks, is scheduled for launch in 2028.
Okay, well, that's good at least. So we've got
4 more years.
What was the first acronym? Osiris, DART, NEO.
Yeah, Osiris-Rex.
Osiris-Rex, DART, NEO. We got all these.
I know.
All these acronyms.
Yeah, DART, NEO. So what do you think about that? First of all, I wasn't appreciating the trickery of the headline making you think that an asteroid was going to hit the Earth.
You know, we do the same kind of thing on our show.
Yeah, we do. But then, you know, it gets you thinking about
the future.
Crying wolf, you know, if there's always this Armageddon scenario coming and we keep surviving it, nothing really happens, then eventually we're going to become placid.
Placid? That's the word you want to use?
Yeah.
Placid?
We're not going to react.
I think you mean content.
I like placid better.
Of course you do, but that's, I think content is the word you're thinking of.
I know, I'm thinking of placid. I think you think I'm thinking of flaccid.
No, not flaccid. You freak.
Thank you.
But, you know, wasn't there a movie about that? Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's the same concept.
I loved Meryl Streep's impersonation of Donald Trump in that movie.
I did not see it, but I know what it is.
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh my God, we need to watch it.
Okay. Well, you say that about a lot of things.
Yeah, I can't ever get you to stay for a whole movie.
Well,
We're still trying to finish a Million Ways to Die in the West.
I know. I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man. I always have something going on.
Sure. So I always double check my sources. So whenever I get a story for us, I always have a different one to back it up. So I'm not just using some really obscure wacko, you know, reporting place.
You didn't just find some guy on the street with a tinfoil hat and sign that says the end is nigh.
Yeah, it's not coming from like a middle school newspaper or anything. I came across this one. I just thought it was weird. I was like, what? But this was put out by the Jerusalem Post.
The Jerusalem Post?
The Jerusalem Post.
Say it again?
Jerusalem Post.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard you right.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I heard you say Jerusalem Post.
It's Jerusalem.
Okay.
I know how to say it.
Okay, I believe you. I'm just...
The title of this story is Giant Asteroid the Size of 770 Lions to Pass Earth Thursday, June 27th. NASA.
Okay, that's something I want to talk about. Why do people use things like lions to measure things?
And I looked it up and to see, well, what does it mean when it says a lion's length? And it like gave me something. A lion could be 2 to 5 or 6 meters long. Like it's a big, difference.
It's a lion. Why are you using a lion? You know, like, banana for scale. It's just a banana in the picture. Like, no.
There are different sizes of bananas.
Exactly.
I don't know why they would put it like that. And I even tried to look up, I was like, well, maybe there's some kind of religious thing going on there. Or maybe they mention it as a length in the Bible or another religious text. I don't know. And I couldn't find any reference to it
Of course
either.
not, because they're talking about lions.
I mean, it's the Jerusalem Post.
Yeah.
But anyway. Asteroid. Have you forgotten me? How big is the asteroid set to pass Earth? That's what it says.
Written so well, clearly.
Yeah. Asteroids come in a wide range of shapes and sizes. And when it comes to NEAs, not sure what that's supposed to stand for.
NEAs?
What do you think?
Near Earth asteroids? I don't know.
Ah, I think you're right.
That's the only thing I think of.
Near Earth something. It starts with an A, I'm sure. We usually see them measured in terms of meters, but there's no underestimating just how big this one is. NASA JPL put its diameter between a more conservative 1.7 kilometers and the far more colossal 3.9 kilometers.
So they don't know.
Is it?
Nobody knows how big this thing is. Everyone's like, oh, it could be 757 lions. It could be 40 lions. Well,
it continues to explain its use of lions, and it's just really weird how we get to it.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it says, that's a lot of big numbers, but let us use a more relatable metric, something more down to earth, something that everyone recognizes. Cats. Except house cats are too small for this, so instead let's use their far bigger cousins. Somebody wrote this. It has a job.
Someone out there is just like, how can I make this more relatable? I went to the zoo the other day. Just use lions as a measurement.
I wonder if this is just, this could be with all the AI that's being used and stuff.
Oh,
This could just be like
that's
translated
a very good point.
by AI into English. It is the Jerusalem Post, so maybe it's written in a different language.
It's a very good point. But we'll never know.
And that's why they word things kind of strangely sometimes.
I agree.
But anyway, according to the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, I wanted to say biological, male lions grow to be around 3 meters long. Okay.
Wow.
So that
Thank
puts
you for
the ESA's measurement at about 770 adult male lions from head to tail. It's still kind of bizarre.
I just can't. I don't understand why you just leap to lions. I don't get it.
It is very strange. I don't quite understand it either. Even after they explained it, it didn't make any sense.
It still didn't make sense.
Then we got another bolded out section of the story that says Hakuna asteroid.
Oh my gosh.
Do we have no worries about a possible asteroid impact?
Oh my gosh. This is worse than your fish puns.
Asteroids have already hit Earth this year and will do so again in the future. But these were minor impacts that left no damage. Should a major impact happen, scientists in the field of planetary defense will be hard at work trying to find ways to stop it. This includes increasing surveillance to watch out for incoming space rocks, as well as means to try to neutralize the threat. The most promising method thus far was shown off at NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test, DART again. There's that DART. Which proved it could deflect an asteroid by slamming a spacecraft into it, nudging its orbital path ever so slightly.
Just throw a rocket at it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not the worst idea.
They don't want to explode it because then you got many.
Right. Well,
many
a
asteroids.
lot of those would probably burn up in the atmosphere. In my opinion. I'm not a scientist, though, so.
I mean, this story barely touches on the original story. It's like in the very last sentence.
Oh, yeah.
And it just says a recent simulated asteroid impact scenario by NASA and its partner organizations found major gaps in global response system, even if we had 14 years to prepare. So that's all that entire story is 3 pages long. I didn't read it all to you, obviously. 3 pages long, and that's all.
Wow.
All they had to say about the actual reason for the article to begin with.
Sometimes I think people just write articles just to write articles.
So what'd you think about that story?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't understand the use of lions as a measurement, but that's something that a lot of people do. You'll read about that a lot. Oh, we've got a fridge. It's about 30 bananas tall. Like, what? What are you talking? It's a fridge.
Well, that's something that everybody on the planet should know how long is. So
Banana.
Everybody knows how long a lion is from head to tail.
Obviously. What?
I mean, I've seen a lion at the zoo, but
yeah, he's always sleeping. I don't know how big he is. He could be 30 feet long. It's just one big long lion snake.
And plus, you're yards away from it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep you pretty separated because it's a lion.
Yeah, for good reason.
And little kids look like good snacks sometimes. So we can't have that, right? So let's talk about failed doomsday predictions.
I'm sure there's quite a few.
Okay, so you've already mentioned this, the 2012 Maya apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. The Mayan calendar only went to 2012.
Yeah, that's because they do their calendars in ages. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but the Mayan civilization collapsed.
Yes.
So they didn't make any more calendars.
Interesting. It's not like they predicted anything.
They have it labeled as True Way, and I don't think anybody's going to understand what that means. So Taiwanese leader, he's a religious leader, Hong Ming Chen, established Chen Tao, or True Way, a religious movement that blended elements of Christianity, Buddhism, UFO conspiracy theories, and Taiwanese folk religion.
That's a lot.
Chen preached.
A lot of different religions in one.
Yeah. Chen preached that God would appear on U.S. television channel 18 on March 25th, 1988, to announce that he would descend to Earth the following week in a physical form identical to Chen. The following year, he prophesied millions of devil spirits, together with massive flooding, would result in a mass extinction of the human population. Followers would be spared by buying their way to board spaceships disguised as clouds sent to rescue them.
You lost me. Hardcore.
So this was this Chin guy's predictions. Obviously, 1988 was quite some time ago. The next one listed is Harold Camping. So among the most prolific modern predictors of end times, Harold Camping has publicly predicted the end of the world as many as 12 times based on his interpretations of biblical numerology. In 1992, he published a book ominously titled 1994, which predicted the end of the world sometime around that year. Perhaps his most high-profile prediction was for May 21st, 2011, a date that he calculated to be exactly 7,000 years after the biblical flood. When that date passed without incident, he declared his math to be off and pushed back the end date of the world to October 21st, 2011. So not by much, a couple months.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna... Oh, wait. It's past. It's 2024.
Yeah. Well, it is failed predictions, obviously.
Yes.
Halley's Comet Panic. And I remember this. I remember seeing Halley's Comet when I was a kid. Halley's Comet passes the Earth approximately every 76 years, but the nearness of its approach in 1910 created fear that it would destroy the planet, either by a celestial collision or through the poisonous gases it was rumored to contain. A worldwide panic ensued, stoked by the media, and such newspaper headlines as "Comet may kill all life," science says. A group in Oklahoma tried to sacrifice a virgin to ward off impending doom. The Earth probably did pass through this part of the comet's tail, but with no apparent effect. Now, I hate to bring up a movie again.
Why? It's like our podcast.
I'm doing this. Halley's Comet came around again. I know it mentions 1910. It came around again in 1986. I was 7. I just told everybody my age.
Yeah, I was going to say, you just aged yourself.
Do the math, everybody. They don't know what day this is. Anyway.
Oh, that's a good point.
In the 80s, they came out with this movie called Night of the Comet. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Well, it terrified me as a kid, but it was brought on by the panic of Halley's Comet. I do remember this. I don't remember it being such a worldwide thing. It was just, hey, there's a comet going to be passed close and it's going to be cool. You'll be able to see it during the day. And it was pretty cool. I remember it now.
Yeah.
And 1986 was a long time ago. But, I think the premise of that movie is all that the comet's coming and it releases toxic gases and turns everybody into zombies or
of course
something along that line.
Because why not zombies?
Yeah, they're real violent. It's kind of a weird... Everybody turns to dust except for certain people. I don't really remember. I'd have to watch the movie again.
You're going to have to watch it again because...
I think it was everybody that was outside watching the comet pass, which it takes more than a day. I hate to tell everybody it's just the night of the comet, so comet passed in one night. Okay.
Yeah.
And like her parents are the main character's parents. She goes outside and their clothes are laying there. She picks it up and just dust comes out of their shoes and stuff. And it's like, okay. So everybody was outside was just vaporized to
Dusted.
nothing.
They were Thanos snapped.
And then I guess people that were inside, but not in like a lead lined room, became zombies or had some kind of comic fever or something. I don't know. I said comic.
Comet.
Comet fever.
Oh, it was comical, all right.
And then the main character and her sister both separately just happened to be in like these lead lined rooms or something
How does
that night.
work?
I don't know.
You got a lead lined room in your house?
No.
Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
I don't remember the exact specifics of it. You'd have to watch it. I'd have to watch it again. But that's what I remember from being
7.
under 10. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Forgive me if I'm off. I wonder if they still have that movie on anywhere.
We'll give you a pass this one time.
Millerism.
What did you just say?
Millerism.
Which is?
That's the headline for the next failed apocalypse. Religious leader William Miller began preaching in 1831 that the end of the world as we know it would occur with the second coming of Jesus Christ in 1843. He attracted as many as 100,000 followers who believed that they would be carried off to heaven when the date arrived. When the 1843 prediction failed to materialize, Miller recalculated and determined that the world would actually end in 1844. Follower Henry Emmons wrote, "I waited all Tuesday, and dear Jesus did not come. I lay prostrate for 2 days without any pain, sick with disappointment."
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't be that disappointed if the world didn't end. But apparently all these predictors will be.
I think I would be relieved.
Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't be sick to the stomach.
Joanna Southcott. Beginning when she was 42 years old, Joanna Southcott reported hearing voices that predicted future events, including the crop failures and famines of 1799 and 1800. She began publishing her own books and eventually developed a following of as many as 100,000 followers.
Wow.
Back then, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
In 1813, she announced that in the following year, she would give birth to the second Messiah, whose arrival was signaled the last days of the earth. Despite being 64 years old, as she told her doctors, a virgin, she died before a baby could be born.
Oh.
Sorry. You're like,
I
nothing.
was excited to hear what happened, but no, she just passed away.
Yeah, she did not have a baby.
Well, I guess. It's kind of sad.
The prophet hen of Leeds. I'm already intrigued. The 1806. In 1806, a domesticated hen in Leeds, England, appeared to lay eggs inscribed with the message, "Jesus is coming."
That's a lot of eggs.
Or "Christ is coming."
That's still a lot of eggs.
Is it tiny, tiny writing on one egg?
Oh, that's a good point. I thought it was like a letter per egg.
I was like, one word per egg or a couple letters.
That makes more sense.
I don't know. Great numbers of people reportedly visited the hen and began to despair of the coming judgment day. It was soon discovered, however, that the eggs were not, in fact, prophetic messages, but the work of their owner, who had been writing on the eggs in corrosive ink and reinserting them into their poor hens' bodies.
Oh, that's upsetting.
That's sick. The Great Fire of London apparently was seen as the end of the world. Because the Bible calls 666 the number of the beast, and many Christians, the 17th century Europe feared the end of the world in the year 1666. The Great London Fire, which lasted from September 2nd to September 5th of that year, destroyed much of the city, including 87 parish churches and about 13,000 houses. Many saw it as a fulfillment of the end of the world prophecy. Given such a large amount of property damage, though, the death toll of the fire was remarkably low, reportedly only 10 people.
Yeah.
Not quite the end of the world,
yeah,
is
no,
it?
it was, I remember reading about it. It was honestly quite low.
What?
The death toll was quite low.
Yeah. Do you know any doomsday preppers?
No. I try not to get involved in doomsday prepping.
I'm sure there's many other doomsday predictions that didn't happen, though I didn't touch
yeah.
on, but I just printed off a couple examples because
Right.
we could probably sit here all day and do an 8-hour show on all the ones that
easily could.
have been. But
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm a doomsday prepper per se, but I would say that I'm some kind of prepper. My biggest fear is I like to hike, and my biggest fear is being lost in the woods
Right.
also. So
Which is fair.
I don't want to die in the woods. So I probably overpack for hiking every single time. I have everything you need to survive in the woods for weeks
Right.
in my backpack. So
Which I've got the same thing in mine.
Do you?
I don't even go hiking anymore. I just have that bag on me at all times.
In the car.
Yes.
Well, technically I always carry it in the car, but it's for hiking.
Right.
I don't like if something happened if I was at work and I don't know, we were attacked or something, who knows, and you couldn't get home for whatever reason, you had to
Right.
walk. I could make it with my backpack, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But I don't store food and those kind of things at my house.
Yeah.
So I don't have 55-gallon drums of rice or whatever people do. I'm not making any kind of judgment against anybody. I'm just saying.
Yeah, to each their own, you know. If you want to prepare for that, you're probably going to be better off than us. So,
Yeah,
more power to you.
yeah. I don't want to be like a super bummer, but if something happened so catastrophic that would be our scenario, I don't know that I would want to survive it anyway.
That's a big discussion between me and my wife is she doesn't want to live in that kind of world. It's like, I get it. I totally get it. But I want to try and survive. You know, I don't want to just
Well, I think
give up immediately.
It's human instinct to live. I mean, I don't think
Right.
anybody wants to die, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying because you would have to try, right?
Right.
But there's a difference between trying once it happens and preparing to try for when it happens, I
Right.
guess. I'm not preparing for that. Anyway, did you like today's episode?
Like what you heard? Or have future suggestions for episodes? Leave us a message on our website. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share us with your friends. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to the New Zonderlings podcast. Be sure to check out other episodes of this podcast when Noah and Jeanette will once again explore the weird and bizarre right here on the New Zonderlings podcast.